Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Gemini for the week of November 21st. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Gemini. Let's go and see what we have here for you. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. Do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for future updates from me. Your likes, comments, shares really do help the channel grow and are very much appreciated here on YouTube. And as always, all of the decks that I use in my videos are linked in the description below. So, all right. I think that looks good enough to me. Let's go ahead and put this over here, and then we'll also take 3 of these Kipper cards. Gemini, energy on the bottom. You have the Queen of Swords. This could certainly be you showing up here. This could be any air sign. So this could be, this could be an anchor back to you during this reading. Sorry about that, Gemini. The video cut out here. So yeah, so this could certainly be you showing up. But if this is not you, and we'll see, this says that potentially right now you have a pretty deep focus on something in your life at this time. Certainly you could be focused on partnership here. It does look like there could be somebody available to you here, Gemini. You probably already know this person. I'm not necessarily seeing new love. But there's there is something that also feels off about the connection here. There's something that feels a little, how do I say this? Chippy. Chippy, is that the right word? Chippy, choppy. Something that's not, I would not describe it as harmonious. And so some of you might resonate with that. Now, if you are in a healthy, happy partnership, then that is not your message, just to be clear. Some of you are in this push-pull between like finding your independence and also being focused on finding partnership if you're single. And again, there might be somebody here, but it's like, if there's not somebody there right now, then you're like in this push-pull where it's like, okay, I want to be my own, I want to be on my own, but I also might like to be in a partnership. So it's like something like that is happening here. From a different level, some of you might be just simply focused on your financial situation here as well. And I'll talk about that more as we go along. So let's go ahead and dive in. In the overall situation, you do have this 2 of Cups. So this is a card that is heavily associated with partnerships and divine unions in the tarot. This is actually my favorite romance card because it's 2 souls or 2 people who are deeply connected linking up in the tarot, forming a union, if you want to call it that. And again, here's the thing though. You have this as the card that's, this middle card spills into the rest of the cards. So it's a very important card. So you have this idea of partnership, but then you have these 2 cards here of independence and kind of being on your own, as well, which is the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, as well as these other swords cards, which swords are sort of like, it's like a separating or a severance, or it's swords cut, right? It's like cutting something out. And so it's almost like there is something that's incongruent, or it's incongruent, is that the right word? It's not congruent with, there's something that's out of balance or out of whack here, I would say, for you in this area right now. But you can achieve clarity here, especially with this Magician card in the future, which I'll talk about more. So in the past, you have the 10 of Cups, you have the 9 of Swords, and you also have the Sun card. So wow. You literally have the happiest cards here that you could find in a tarot reading with the 10 of Cups and the Sun card. They are literally the Sun card's the happiest card. The Ten of Cups is the second happiest card. So there's been a big ray of sunshine here for you in the past. There's been a big burst of happiness here for you in the past. You might have experienced a really nice family situation here, as you see the family on the Ten of Cups card here. And they're kind of really enjoying life. The vibes are high, the times are good, things are good for them, right? As you see this, this scene that's kind of being portrayed on the card. And the Sun card is like, even more so, it basically augments anything here. It augments something in your life. So like, or it could negate the negative aspects of cards around it. So you have the Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Two of Cups around it. So the Sun card in this case could really shine a light on partnership. And it could also say, you know what? The fears that you have right now are something that you could really work through, that you could easily work through. And the Page of Swords, this could say that you're taking a thoughtful approach to something, because you have the Sun card here augmenting it in a more positive way, or negating the negative effects of the card. And so, you know, for some of you, you know, you have this Nine of Swords. Some of you have been going through a challenge, but it's almost like you've been going through some sort of challenge here at the mental level. The Nine of Swords is a card that I consider to be the mental health card in the tarot. But at the same time, you've had some happiness, okay? As strange as that sounds, it's like maybe you've had somebody that's been around to really help you out during this time, or pull you out of a dark place, or you've had, you know, the support of your family members or something like this here, right? And so there have been challenges here, but it's been met with, you've been able to deal with the challenges, and maybe even it's because you've had, you know, love around you, and it doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be familial love, friendships, you know, something like that here. Love from the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? Self-love as well. There's been love here, and you know, this has helped you through maybe a challenging time for you. Now, in the current situation, you have the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Two of Cups, and you have the Page of Swords. So the Nine of Pentacles, this is where in the romantic love story, things get a little weird because you really desire to be on your own, it seems like. Or if it's not like that, it's like you want space in some ways here. The Nine of Pentacles person, they've spent a lot of time building their fortress, building their kingdom, you know? And the Nine of Pentacles person, you know, it's all about financial independence for them. You know, it's also this idea of health is wealth, by the way. And so just a good health check-in kind of card as well, like without your health, really what is there in life? But, you know, it's like the Nine of Pentacles person, they stand on their own 2 feet. The Queen of Swords, you know, they will cut out anybody that just doesn't work for them anymore, and they are a deeply independent card, as well as or person, as well as it's also a card that can just, as I've said, you know, talk about some or highlight some sort of deep focus in an area of your life. And then you have the Page of Swords, which again is like very much a logical energy in this case. You know, this is somebody who is allowing logic to lead the way, or you know, they're kind of taking even a thoughtful approach to something here. But, you know, again, going back to this like romantic love message, I'm not sure quite how to kind of describe it, but, you know, I do want to see what cards come in to clarify, because there's just something that feels off, and I do think the clarifiers will help with that. Some of you who are not here for love, you're really focused on your health and your financial independence. With this Nine of Pentacles card seems to be very important to me, and in this reading as well, it's really jumping out to me. And so I think with the kind of logic message here, the logical type of energy here with the Page of Swords, I do think some of you are approaching that I think some of you are really focused on that as well. If you're just like, if love's not on the table, or you're in a happy partnership, that's, I think, something that's showing up as well. Now, in the future, you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Swords, and you also have the Magician card. So the Magician card might say that, you are really focused on manifesting something here in your life. The Magician is described in the tarot as being like a master manifester. They have all of the tools here on the table, and they can use these tools to bring about some sort of change, and initiate some sort of positive change or positive situation here. Okay, and the thing about the Magician is it's not an issue of talent, it's an issue of doing, it's an issue of action. And so for the Magician, their biggest struggle in the tarot, or in this case, would be taking action on something. And so here's what I'll say with this partnership energy. You actually have two diagonals here in this reading. So you have the Sun, the Two of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles, and then you have the Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Magician. So what I would say is you can take action on some type of partnership here, and it might end up turning out better than you think, or better than you may realize here at this time. But it's going to require that you move out of the planning stage, or move out of the dreaming stage, and move into the action stage. That's what I will say. Maybe telling somebody how you feel, or something like this here, Gemini, could certainly be showing up. But again, there's this like message here where you really want to be on your own, right? You like really want to be on your own, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So I think some of you are maybe struggling with this internally. You have the Ten of Swords, which is an ending. Some of you fear the end with the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords, with the Two of Cups in between. Some of you fear the end of a partnership or something like this here. We'll see what that, we'll see if that manifests for you by looking at the clarifications. But lastly, you have the Queen of Pentacles. If you're just not here for love at all, which not everybody is here for love for sure, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's budgeting, planning, preparing, saving for a rainy day, really focused on making practical financial choices and doing things like that. And again, whether you're here for partnership or you're here for the other one here, which is the financial timeline, it's going to require that you really move into action mode, and also maintain your focus, maintain your focus here with the Queen of Swords. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at these Kipper cards. All right, so you have occupation, pathway, bad health, and despair. So I do think that the health of there's some type of health of a, okay, how do I say this? Rewind. The health of a partnership, the health of a situation between you and another person is causing you to maybe feel a little bit down or drained in energy. This could also apply to your financial situation. Some of you are maybe, there's something like that here that is draining you, depending on where you are in this reading. Again, I don't predict like death and dying, and I don't if you're not feeling well, go to the doctor. That's just kind of like the way I am. So I read the bad health card as more of like the health of a situation. All right. And then you have the occupation and pathway energy here, which, the occupation card is obviously referring to your job or your career, or what you do for work. The pathway energy is your true north. This is actually a very good combination to get, because some of you could be really discovering or reconnecting with what you actually want to do for your money situation or your career situation, and those two things are really interlinked. Here with pathway, occupation, and the Nine of Pentacles, some of you could be focused on that at this time as well, particularly if you're not here in this love timeline in this reading here. So let's go ahead and let's start to clarify. So you have the Eight of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the World, and the World. That's it. Eight of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the World. Okay, so there's like I said, remember at the start of this reading here, and I know this has been a bit of a choppy reading because that's the energy that I feel. It's a choppy reading. But remember at the start of this, I said you have this like extreme happiness here with the Ten of Cups and the Sun, despite going through a challenge. And now to sprinkle on top of all of that, you have the Ten of Pentacles, the World, and the Eight of Wands, which is all a very positive sentiment through these. All of these cards have positive meanings. Okay, the World represents the completion of something important. It's a closing out of a chapter. The Ten of Pentacles is a major sign of abundance, and the Eight of Wands is about something pushing ahead. It's accelerated motion. It's the feeling of being unstuck. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles with the Sun, I would argue, is probably the best. I'm just trying to think. I'm going through all of the combinations in my mind right now, or all of the ones that I can. I'm not a computer, so, but like, it's harder to find a better combination than that. Maybe the Star, the Sun and the Star and the Ten of Cups or Pentacles. The Star would certainly be in there, but like, something has really worked out for you despite going through a challenge here in the past. And you've clearly completed something important. This might be related to family. Here, it just keeps coming in with the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles and the World. And, you know, yeah, let's get some more cards here. So you have the Queen of Swords again, which is being clarified with the Nine of Pentacles. So I do think that this is you for sure in this reading. You are like, you fiercely want your independence in some ways, but at the same time, with the Three of Pentacles here, again, with the Two of Cups, you also want to be a part of something, which, you know, that makes sense. And lastly, you have the Page of Cups. So Queen of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. Clarifying the Page of Swords, look, I mean, you're really taking a thoughtful approach to some love situation here. It's almost like some of you just need to take action on a partnership or on a situation here, and things will fall into place, or things will work out. Yeah, you might even be pleasantly surprised. Like, you might just, you might be surprised here. You have this Three of Pentacles, which can refer to reward and recognition for doing a good job, or doing a quality job, or doing good at something. It can also refer to other people, you know. Threes in tarot represent other people. It can also represent your colleagues, your work situation, something like that. And you have the Queen of Swords. Again, deep focus on your independence here. Okay, I keep saying it, but you have three signs of major independence and needing to like have space. You know, this could be space from someone, but it could just be like the desire to have space generally. Okay, so you have the Tower, you have the Four of Wands, and you have the Three of Wands. So the Tower is the collapsing of a false belief, right? Which is actually a blessing in disguise, because, as I always say, nobody wants to live in a house of cards. And, you know, it doesn't mean that that's not challenging, but in this case, this feels like a pleasant surprise, because you have this Four of Wands and the Three of Wands. Four of Wands is like a major card of stability, structure, maybe even marriage in the tarot. It is a major marriage card. And the Three of Wands is an energy of excitement. It's the feeling of going somewhere new, of getting fired up, of seeing what's out there, of realizing that there's a whole wide world out there for you to explore. And it's all about growth and expansion. And so let me clarify this Tower. Okay, it could be with this partnership energy. The King of Cups is considered to be a good partner in the tarot, whatever gender you're interested in. They're considered to be a good partner in the tarot. And so, yeah, I do think that there could be some surprises here in love if you're here for that. And then in the other storyline, I feel like just continue focusing on your independence and things will work out for you. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. And I will see you in the next reading.